Okay, good morning you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We are on workout number 6 here, 6 of 6. Today we are going to just be doing a whole bunch of stuff. It'll be full body, but we'll be focusing on core. I have a nice little core section that's really going to get us spiced up in the center. So let's start with a nice warm-up to get us going. You're going to need your dumbbells, a cushion, and just a cushion. Basically weights and a cushion today. And then come to bring your weights right to the center of your mat and just put them down in front of you. Okay? And then just meeting me standing on your mat. Just have those weights down below you. And we're going to get into a little warm-up to get started. Let's just close our eyes for a minute. Put your hands on your abdominals. Just take a few deep breaths and just observe the movement. Big inhale, you feel that big expansion into the ribs, into the tummy. As you exhale, the tissue draws into the center, away from your hands. Big breath in, it connects and pushes out into the hands. Exhale, it draws in, wrapping up your lower back and pelvis. With that big, deep exhale. One more time, big breath. And exhale, all the air out to the end of that breath. And then letting your arms drop, opening up your eyes. Drop your chin to your chest, and let's do 2 neck circles each direction. Rolling through the neck, like you're drawing a big circle with your chin. And then the other way for 2. Global neck circles. Try to get all the range of motion in your neck, nice and slow and controlled. Finishing with your chin on your chest, floating the chin up to the ceiling, taking your hands and pulling down through the chest, feeling a nice big fascial pull through the front of your throat and your neck. Take a big breath into your chest. And releasing that, letting your neck be neutral, floating your arms out in front of you. We're going to come into some protraction and retraction. You're going to reach your fingertips forward, letting your shoulder blades glide forward, and then exhale, pull the shoulder blades back onto your back. It's a small motion, forward and pull backwards, waking up all the stabilizers of your shoulders. These are going to make your planks stronger. Reach and pull, mobilizing the upper back. And one more time, reach and pull. From here, we're going to come into some bow and arrow. You're going to reach your arm back, look over your shoulder, pull that elbow back, and then reach forward. Pulling back, and start to connect with your abdominals. You're twisting around your belly button. And visualize your spine is like a corkscrew. It's staying in the same place, but it's rotating. And we go side to side here, getting a little mobility in the upper back. Feel your sternum turn as you rotate and look around. The hips are going to move a little bit, but essentially the hips are staying put and just the upper body is moving. And let's do one more on each side here, pulling it back. And reaching it forward, pulling the other side. Finishing with the arms out front. Let's come into some back shoulder circles, moving backwards first. Opening up the collarbone, connect with your abdominals, push your feet into the floor. Nice and wide, reaching past your fingertips. And now let's stop and go the other way, sweeping forward, pushing the air down. Great. One more. Coming around, releasing, reach your arms out to the side, and we go into our side bends. We want to keep this nice and controlled and keep it as if you're between those 2 pieces of glass. No rotation here. Everything is just a true side bend, and you have a nice anchor in your abdominals, like you're moving through water here. Push your feet down just a little bit more. Awesome. One more. Letting that go. Roll your shoulder blades a couple of times. And then making sure you're still standing above your weights. You're going to nod your chin. Roll down into your first forward fold. Really take your time here. Sending the sit bones up, lifting the abdominals. Grabbing onto your weights. Just stay down in your fold for a moment. Enjoy that. Breathe into your hamstrings. Breathe into your lower back. Now I want you to really connect with the abdominals first, and we're going to be dragging these weights back up with us. So just really take your time, control it, roll back up, stay around as long as you can, push down through your feet, and stack your spine, bringing your weights to your chest, glue them together, and then bring them to your chest. So you're pushing those two weights in. Your elbows they're not directly out, but they're out on a slight angle here. Check your feet. They should be just a little wider than hip width apart. And we're coming into some slow squats. Lower down for 3, 2, 1. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Press it up. Find your glutes, fire up the legs. And we lower. Keep the chest lifting for 3, 2, 1. Reach for that chair behind you. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Press it up. Lower down. 3, 2, 1. Weight is in the heels. We hold. 3, 2, 1. Pressing it up. And lower. 3, 2, 1. Check your abdominals. Holding here. 3, 2, 1. Press it tall. 2 more. Lower. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Lift your toes. 3, 2, 1. Press it up. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Holding here. We're pulsing. Start a little tiny pulse through the legs. Keep your chest lifted, your abdominals on. Weight is in the heels. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press it up. Whew, shake your legs. Nice job. I'm going to show you this next one before we get into it. The weights are going to stay where they are here at the chest. We'll be lunging back. We're going to lunge, rotate over the front thigh, come back to center, and stand. And we'll be staying with the same leg. So we're going to do 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Find yourself nice and tall. We're going to start with the right leg going back. We'll be rotating over the left thigh. Stepping it back. Find your lunge, rotate, come back to center, and stand tall. Same side. Back, staying really tall here. Rotate your weights in your chest over that front thigh. Stepping back, rotate, come to center, and stand tall. Keep your belly button nicely connected and twist around it. Come back to center and stand tall. 2 more on this side. Rotate, center, and stand. And last one. Over the front thigh, come back to center, and stand tall. We're now into the left leg. Stepping it back, twisting around, come back to center, pressing up, driving that front heel into the floor. Rotate, center, and press. And press. Step back, rotate, center, and back. We have 2 more here. And step, last one. Step back, rotate to the center, standing tall. Coming to face me, feet are hip width apart. We'll be coming into our paddling. So this is all about your oblique that you're rotating downwards towards. It's about the side that we bring the weights lower, okay? So what it looks like, we reach our weights up on an angle. We row them past our opposite hip, okay? Let's get into it together. Bring your weights together. And we go up on an angle to the left. Row past your right hip. Reach it up and row through. Up and pull through. That back elbow reaches behind you and you're looking over your shoulder. We're just getting into that oblique on the right. Both obliques are working here, but the right is working a little harder to rotate you. Reach it up, pull it around. Just be sure you've got a little bend in your knees here. Reach up on an angle, pull through. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Rest for just a second, reset. And then when you're ready, we'll be going up to the right and pulling through past that left hip. Reach it up and pull it through. So you should be really in control of these weights as they move through space. Reaching up, pulling down. I always think about stand-up paddleboarding when I do this exercise. Reach it up, pull it around, and up, and pull. Nice work. Let's go for 4 more. Pull it around. 3, 2, 1. Letting that go. Let's put the weights down somewhere where you can still reach them later. We'll be coming back into the picture. And come to the end of your mat. Let's just turn our wrists. We're going to be coming into some planks here. I want you to feel free to put down one knee if you need to. All right. Setting up. Let's nod the chin and roll down. Halfway lift, hands to the shins. Reach your spine long. Enjoy that. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. Exhale, soften, hands to the floor. We're walking out to our first plank. Finding our plank here. Really perfect it. Reach through the heels, reach through the crown of the head, lift the abdominals. Dig your fingertips into the floor. We're going to gently sway our weight forward and back, pushing with the toes. Inhale forward, exhale back through the heels. Inhale forward, less is more here. This motion is small. If you have one knee down, you're still doing the exact same thing. Staying really square, focusing on your form, okay? Reach, exhale, pull, pushing through your heels. 2 more. Exhale, push. And 1 more. Exhale, push, finding our downward dog. Send your sit bones up and pedal out the feet. Enjoying that stretch through the calves and the hamstrings. Really stay connected with your lats here. Dig those pinky fingers into the floor. Take a big breath, bend both knees, and walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold, and ragdoll back up to standing. Roll those shoulders back, starting again. Nod the chin and roll down. Soften your sternum. Make your way down, halfway lift. Reach through the spine. Lift your tummy. Reach, reach, reach through the crown of your head. And soften. Walking out to another plank. Let's perfect it. Once you feel really good about your plank, we're going to start to shoulder tap side to side. And again, if you have a knee down, you're doing the exact same thing that we're doing, just with your knee down. Keeping your head in line with your spine and breathing deeply here. As we switch from side to side, you're trying to minimize the amount of rotation happening at your hips, keeping your hips lifting and your abdominals on. Four more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Find that downward dog. Adjust your legs as needed. Lift your tummy. Reset. Breathing long and deep. And let's pause with the legs. Bend your knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. Forward fold. Ragdoll up. Roll your shoulders. Stack your spine. We have one more round of these. This time a slightly different modification in the plank. Rolling down. Halfway lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades back here. And then soften forward fold. Walk it out to your plank. Finding that strong plank. Now, we're going to start to tap one leg out wide and then the other. I'm going to show you the modification. If you have a knee down, you're going to just do one leg for a little while. And then you'll switch legs, bringing the other knee down and doing the single leg. Okay? Otherwise, we're tapping out and in. Side to side. The upper body stays exactly the same shape. And being sure that you're breathing. Really strong shoulders here. We're almost there. Keep it up. Can you recruit more abdominals, pulling up away from the floor, reaching energy through your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees, taking a shell stretch. Breathe deeply into your lower back. Notice that your heart rate should be up a little. Now, if you need a cushion for under your knees, you're going to grab that now. Put it under your knees and protect your kneecaps. And then meet me out in all fours. We're going to be coming into a square push-up into a hover, okay, a knee hover. So it looks like this. When I go into my push-up, I like to turn my fingers ever so slightly into each other. Not too much, just a little tiny bit. And then as you come down, the elbow goes down on a 45-degree angle. It doesn't go straight out beside you, okay? So we come into this square push-up, chest comes towards the floor. As we exhale, we push through the arms, hover the knees. We lower the knees with control, lowering into your push-up. Exhale, press, hovering the knees. They're coming up about half a foot. Okay, so they're coming up quite high. All right, let's do this together. Find a nice, strong, square position, lifting your tummy, reaching your spine, and we lower into our square push-up. Lower down. Exhale, push through the arms, hover the knees up. Lower those knees with control. Inhale down. Exhale up. Hovering those knees up. Lower with control. A lot of the work in this exercise is on the way down, bringing those knees back to the floor with control. So the shape of us should be the same throughout. You have a long lower back, your abdominals are on, supporting your back. Push up and hover as we bring those knees up. The abdominals work really hard. Exhale, press. We're trying not to go into an angry cat here. Try to keep your spine long. As you lift, there's going to be a tendency to want to go round, but instead think long spine. Let's do about 4 more. My arms are starting to really feel this. Last 2. Great job. Last one. Lowering down, taking another shell. Whew. Couple of long breaths here. And then we'll come out to all fours. Dig your fingertips into the floor, creating a little bit of space under your hand. We're going to come into our bird dogs. 1 pair opposites. Bring it back in. Exhale, the other pair reaches. Just a basic bird dog here with a focus on keeping your abs on the whole time. Moving from the shoulder and the hip. And just really focusing on that transition moment. When you come back, everything's on the floor for a moment, and then we switch. Try to keep all rotation out of it, keeping it linear. Reach, and in. Can we all recruit just a little bit more abdominals? So those same abs we would have had when we were in our full plank. And let's do 1 more each side. And in. Reach it out. And in. Holding there, we're going to come up into our high knees. So in this position, you want your glutes on, you want your abdominals on. We're going to be coming into our thigh stretch, and I'm adding a little bit of arms, so it's going to be intense. We're going to do 4 rounds, okay? So keeping your arms at your side, keeping your abdominals on. Let's lean back. The shape of you is exactly the same. There's no hinging at the back at all. Finding some length in your thighs. 1 arm up, 1 arm down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up tall, float yourself back to vertical, take a breath. Exhale, we come back into that leaning back position. Keep your abdominals on here. Here we go again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands to your side, floating up. Back again. Glutes are on. Abdominals are on. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Floating forward. We have 1 more round. Your quads should be feeling warm. Back we go. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float it forward. Whew, hello quads. Coming to, I'm going to face you. Coming down. We'll let the right leg come out long. We're still on the left knee. We're going to tip over. I will give a modification for this. So we're going to be tipping over onto our bottom arm here. If this is too much for your wrist, you're going to adjust. You're going to come down onto your forearm instead, squaring off right under the shoulder. Same exact exercise, just on your forearm, okay? So if you're finding your wrist it's too extreme on the wrist, be sure to modify. All right, so here we go. We're gonna tip over, keeping your foot on the floor here. Your right foot stays on the floor. And from here, we're going to rotate under, threading this top arm underneath the bottom arm and opening it back up. We're twisting around the belly button and reaching up. Now, if you've taken the modification, you just have to adjust your knee to go a little bit farther away from the arm. And we all want to keep our eyes above the arm below you, whether you're on your forearm or your hand. The eyes are above the hand. Threading through, getting that nice rotation. Let's bring our abdominals a little closer. Pushing the floor away with your elbow or your hand, whichever you've got going on. Continuously pushing down, activating those underarm muscles. Rotate and coming up. And let's go for 5. And open. 4, 3, really feeling that bottom side oblique. 2, and last one. Opening back up, bringing that knee in and letting that go, coming down onto your side. Now we're going to use our head as a pillow, unless you have your cushion right nearby. If you do, you could just throw that cushion right under your head. So bringing both legs nice and long, you're going to reach the legs out on a slight angle forward. Not directly behind us, but just slightly out. So when you look down, you see your cute little toes. Okay, let's keep the abs on here. In order to find your abdominals in side lying, you have to really think about it, and you have to bring the tummy closer to you by drawing in, okay? We're gonna be doing a double leg lift here. I am using my top hand for a little bit of balance. We're gonna squeeze the legs together and hover them just a little. And lower them with control. Exhale, inner thighs squeeze, and we hover. This is not very high. Lowering down, squeeze and reach the legs. Imagine you're trying to make them longer, and lowering down. Squeeze and lift. Now, if your legs barely come off the floor, that's okay. It's okay, just keep working on it. Squeeze the inner thighs together. You're going to start to feel some warmth here in your top side oblique, right above your hip bone. Those are the muscles working here on top of your inner thighs, obviously. Keep squeezing together. Think of this as a reach rather than a lift. And lower. And let's do 4 more. 4, 3, inner thighs are squeezing, 2, and last one. Awesome, let that go. So there should have been a ton of warmth in the inner thighs and some warmth here at the top of your hip, okay? Coming out of that, back up onto our knees to do the other side. So now the left foot will go out. We're going to get nice and tall here. And same thing, modify where you need to. We're going to tip over onto our bottom arm. Now continuously pushing up through the hand here. We're not going to sink, we're going to stay lifted. Okay, and then from there, rotating through, finding that nice thread through that nice twist, and it's going to really light up that bottom side oblique, and you should feel like this feels really nice in your upper back. And up, thread it through, open up. Now, if we go too fast, we really take away from this exercise. Be sure to be moving at a pace where you can really feel what's going on. Checking on that bottom shoulder, keep pushing the floor away. Let's go for 5 more threads. 5, 4, 3, big exhale. 2, and 1. Opening back up and bringing that knee in, coming down onto your side, pillow or arm under your head. So we want our spine really long here, not curled up in the fetal position. We want to feel like we've got length down the spine and then the legs just reach out on that slight angle. Oftentimes with this double leg lift, it's easier on one side. Okay, so if you're feeling that, that's totally normal. Reaching through the legs, let's connect those inner thighs together. Use your top hand for a little bit of balance. Not too much, just the tips of your fingers. And let's exhale, squeeze those inner thighs, hovering the legs, reach them long, and lower them down. Usually takes about 4 or 5 reps for you to start feeling this up top side oblique. Squeeze and reach up and lower down at that pace. See if you can put more control into the lowering of the legs. Squeeze and hover, and then control them back down. Big exhale as you reach, and lower. Reach it up, and down. Keep squeezing that inner thigh. Awesome work, you guys. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Let that go. Notice where you feel the warmth, top of the hip, inner thighs. Let's take this cushion coming onto our back and just place the cushion between the knees. Okay. So let's settle in here. Just close your eyes for a moment. Just notice your bones on the mat. Your feet are planted. You feel your tailbone, your pelvis. Little bit of space between the lower back and the mat. Rib cage feels heavy. And then back of the arms, shoulders, and back of the head. Let's rock through imprint a couple of times. Finding that imprint, leaving the legs out of the picture. Use those obliques. They should be nice and warm now. We've done a ton of obliques this morning already. Rocking into imprint, shortening up those suspender muscles between the ribs and the hips, and then allowing those suspenders to release and rock back to neutral. Just massaging the lower spine. And let's bring the arms overhead. They can go out nice and wide. They should feel comfortable above your head, not too close to your ears, okay? And we're going to be rolling up into our bridge. Take a big breath in, roll through your imprint, just where we were, then pushing into the legs and peeling the spine up, finding a bridge without, don't press those hips too high, without going too high. Take a breath and place your spine back down. This should feel really nice, coming through the spine. Sometimes there's some sticky spots as we come through, and release your pelvis back to neutral. We're going back up again. Exhale, imprint, use those obliques, and then the legs kick in to push the hips up, finding that strong bridge. Can we drop our belly button just a little bit more here? Equal weight in the feet. Take a breath and then roll your spine back down. It's melting one vertebra at a time. Down, 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 into the mat. Don't skip any sections of your spine. And again, big breath. Roll it up. Just enjoy this mobility. There's no rush to get up and there's no rush to go back down. Finding a strong bridge, legs are on, core is on. And let's place it back down, taking your time through any spots that feel tight. Always feel a little tension in my mid-back as I return the spine back down. And let's do it one more time to finish. 4 is a good number. Roll it up. Finding that bridge. Take a breath in, enjoy that bridge for a moment. Strong legs. And then place the spine back down. Notice in your spine if you're seeing an area that is tight or that won't articulate. That's a great area to work on or get your massage therapist to work on. From here, you guys grabbing onto your weights. And bringing your arms down beside you so that the weights are floating up in the air, like this. Okay, we still have this cushion between us. I know the inner thighs are gonna start to feel tired, and that's okay. All right, from here we're gonna bridge back up. No rolling this time, just a press, and at the same time we're gonna press our arms up as well. So the arms and the bridge are formed, and then we lower the hips down, the arms stay, and we pull the legs into tabletop, bringing the cushion with us, and place those feet back down. Lower the arms, and we push back up into bridge. Lower just the hips, keep the arms up, and then use your low abdominals to pull the knees to tabletop. And come back down. Now you might be imprint, you might be neutral. It's going to be different for everybody here. The most important thing is that you're not in it, your lower back isn't bothering you, okay? You might be somewhere in the middle between imprint and neutral, and that's okay. Try for neutral, and if it's not working for you, then go to imprint. Lowering down. Bridge up, arms stay, and draw the pillow in. Place the feet back down. Arms come down. Let's do 4 more rounds. Bridge, hips down, draw the pillow in, tabletop, place your feet down, lower the arms. Big exhale. Lower, pull in, feet down, lower the arms. Last 2 rounds. Push it up. Hips down. Pull in. Place the feet. Lower the arms. Push it up. Bridge. Last round. Lower your hips. Pull that cushion in. And place your feet down. Lowering the arms. Great job. Let's take this pillow out just for a moment. Let your legs go long. And then come up into an imprint this time. You're gonna put the weights down just beside you and open your arms out wide. Palms are facing up. We're gonna come into our pendulum. So find an imprint, keep the cushion with you, okay? And we want to be able to extend our legs while we hold this cushion, and I'm going to show you why. When we go over into our pendulum, we're going to reach that inside leg long, bend it back, and come through center. So we're just going to be staying over on the angle a little bit longer, really working our obliques. All right, finding imprint, here we go. Let's go over to the left. We let the legs tip over to the left. You're going to extend your right leg long just for a moment. Bend that right leg and then pull the legs back to center. We go over to the right. Stay heavy in your pelvis here. Reach the left leg long for a moment, bend it, and pull back through. The inner thighs are working hard here. Across, reach the right leg. Keep pushing your arms into the floor. Over we go. Left leg reaches. Bend that knee, pulling back through. Across, right leg, bend it up, pull back through. Over, left leg, bend it, and pull back through. Let's do 2 more on each side. Across, right leg, bend it, and pull through. Keep breathing. Last 2. Reach it long, bend it, pull through. And last one, over to the right. Extend that left leg and bend it and pull through. Awesome work, you guys. Let's place the feet down. And again, taking that cushion out. Let's do a nice big stretch through the whole body. Just really reach, allow your rib cage to pop. Turning to your side, you're gonna come up to seated. All right, last exercise here. We're going to take one weight, okay? And I would say don't sit on your cushion because you might tip back. I want to show you the shape of our spine here, okay? The shape of the spine is rounded, scooped through the belly and rounded like you're trying to puff up your rib cage on the back side of your back, okay? We don't want to be back here in a hinged position because that's going to hurt your back, okay? And it's way harder also. So let's put the cushion between the knees as our anchor. And taking one weight, we're going to come into some Russian twists. We're going to do these with a ton of control, okay? So let's bring the weight in both hands, so one end in each hand, like this, okay? And we're going to sit up on your sit bones so you can really feel your sit bones. And from those sit bones, you're going to roll back until you feel your tailbone on the mat, okay? So we've rolled back and we're not going to let our spine lengthen. We're going to stay rounded here. And we're going to be rotating the weight from side to side with an exhale. Really important to stay round in your spine. Keep squeezing that cushion. And less is more here. Scoop in the belly, staying on our tailbone. Keep squeezing that cushion. And let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come forward and let your legs go long. Or wide, sorry, let your legs go wide and let's forward fold. Breathe into your lower back, breathe into the backs of your legs, putting your toes up to the ceiling. Your chin can drop towards your chest. And just let's observe your 3D breathing here. Notice your rib cage. It expands like an accordion on the inhale, and then it retracts like an accordion on the exhale. Walk your hands back to your legs, and let's come through to a low lunge. If you need your cushion, throw that back under your knees. And let's take the left foot forward. You want to feel some length in the front of your hip here, in your groin area. You might need to shift your weight forward, bring the whole shape of your torso with you. Okay, so we don't want to be hinging through our lower back here. And let's bring that arm up and over. Right arm floats up. We find a side bend. And maybe, just maybe, you let your weight come forward into the front leg a little bit more. Be aware of this top side rib cage. Try not to let it float flare too far up. We want to keep that rib cage connected so we're still square in our torso. And take one more breath into your hip flexor. Releasing that, and let's switch sides. Right leg forward, left leg back. And once you've found what feels like a nice stretch in that hip flexor on the left, then bring the weight forward a tiny bit and the arm goes overhead. Find a nice side bend. See if you can drop a little shoulder tension here. Great, one more big breath. And releasing that. Coming to seated, grab that cushion and throw it right under your bum. And if you feel comfortable in cross-legged, let's go there. If not, just keep your legs wide. And we're going to open up the arms. Palms are facing out, pushing those arms back. Stay tall here. Keep your abdominals on. And then bring those arms in and across, finding your eagle. Wrap the arms up. Pull those shoulder blades away from each other. And moving the elbows, very tiny movement up and down. Awesome. Reach them out again. Pulling those shoulders open, showing your collarbone forward. And then bring them in, wrapping them the other way. And same thing, elbows move a little. And gently releasing those arms. Roll your shoulders. And we are all done. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for being here for the 6 weeks. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really open to feedback and comments, so please let me know if there's anything I can be doing to make this better. I know a couple of you have talked to me. We're definitely running for the next 3 weeks for the mini session before spring break. So if anyone else wants to get involved, let me know. And I will see you guys next week. And otherwise, have a great day, you guys. Thank you so much. Great job today. See ya.